Hi everyone, welcome to 2023 year account review slash bank video. This was kind of inspired a little bit by Lydia Kenny. He had given me some gentle encouragement for this many months ago now. But yeah, I think it'll just be a fun little... Oh, I just hit 60 mil woodcut XP. That was convenient. I think it'll just be a fun little experience, give me something to look back on of just like, hey, here's where the account was on January 4th, 2024, and go from there. So as you can see on my stats right now, I have 2,524 virtual total, which did exceed the goal I set for the year, so that's good. I finished off 200 mil thieving, which was the second 200 mil. Fire making was previous year, I think. I think it was just the previous year. It might have been farther back. But yeah, the main skill I'm kind of working on right now is 200 mil crafting. I think I'm slowly working on banking 200 mil cook, as I'm predominantly doing bonds to AFK. Although I'm currently at Redwoods just because we have a week-long woodcutting comp right now. So there's that going on. And then let's just look at if this goes correctly. Okay, so this was the tweet I made last year regarding the goals. And those of you that are familiar with how this year went for me, it was quite challenging. My disability severely worsened. I have a lot of pain and fatigue. It severely impacts the hours I can play this game. So even though I'm no longer working, I put in less hours than I did when I was working. So yes, these goals were ambitious to begin with, and I didn't quite meet them all, but that's okay. So 200 mil thieving, 2,500 virtual total. I did those. 20 mil all skills. I'm pretty close to that actually. So I'm missing 2.5 mil XP and agility, just short of that in rune crafting, just about that in prayer. Slayer, I'm 220k XP from 20 mil. Excuse me. But yeah, so 20 mil, all skills, very achievable for this year. That'll be an easy one. Top 50 hardcore all skills. I can kind of show how that looks right now. So here are January 4th, all my ranks. I was previously top 100 all, and then I haven't been keeping up on it in the Slayer grind and then like the Nightmare Zone type of combats. But other than that, I am not very far from top 75 all. So we mostly have agility is very close. It's not many hours to get to top 75 all. Slayer is pretty much the big one. So to get Slayer to rank 75 and rank 50, I think is a very feasible goal for this year. And if I get rank 50 Slayer, add in some Nightmare Zone time, add in finishing some of these other things like, you know, a little bit of fishing, you know, Magic's gonna come with Slayer. These will go down with Slayer plus then Nightmare Zone. Agility, I don't think rank 50 is that difficult in agility. Part of the reason my XP is as low as it is in agility right now is just because it's not a very competitive skill. Rune crafting, I am going to be working a lot towards 200 mil crafting. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen this year, but I'll make a lot of progress towards it. And while glassblowing, I intend to do a fair bit of the ZMI glassblowing method. So top 50 rune crafting, I don't think that'll be difficult at all either. And then just to give you kind of an overview of how the stats look, I hate clues, ignore those. I've done a little bit of LMS, but nothing of note. Guardians of the Rift, this will probably stay this way for a long time. I finished out the outfit, and I got the pet just before I finished the outfit this year. So that was really nice, because I'd much rather do ZMI or Zaya rune crafting than Guardians of the Rift. maybe someday I'll go back to Hydra for the Hydra leather. I can't even say that word. But I mean, I might do it. Like, Escape Crystal exists now. I'm probably gonna have a fair bit of Slayer grind this year. I may or may not do more Hydra. Chambers. So I'll show my Chambers log actually real quick. So Chambers has been kind to me this year after my first after my first purple. So I've had a very good high luck streak in Chambers where I didn't get a single purple until my 206 kill. And now I've had the last 50, 75 kills. I've been very, very lucky, lots of drops, pretty much to an expected rate. So my only mega is the Maul. And I'm pretty much missing, of course, T-Bow. But the magic gear for the Witch, so full Ancestral, code I would love for Slayer. I've kind of put off doing Muspa in the hopes I would get a Kodai. If I'm gonna do a fair bit of Slayer grind this year and don't have a Kodai by then, I'll just do some Muspa, I think. And Buckler. So I would like this year, I think, to target like 100 CMs. So as you can see, I haven't done a CM yet. I was kind of putting them off until I had an Ancestral piece to try and recolor. But I'm at the point in the purples that I think waiting for that's kind of pointless. You know, I have DHCB, I have a Dragon Hunter Lance. I have a lot of experience at Chambers, so I don't see CMs being a problem, especially team CMs. So yeah, I should probably just do them until I get those kits and all. But yeah, I did a little bit of Zillia to try and spoon at ACB. If I was going to do the Inferno hard, I might do that more, especially now Escape Crystal exists. You know, that kind of thing. So anyway, I don't think there's a ton of note on the rest of these. Mole, I got the pet, so that's fun. I think I might start doing more KQ tasks. I need to DPS calc where exactly the Chaos Partisan is with no gems. But I really like the KQ pet. So I might do some more of that. I won't do any more KVD because I have the Dragon pick. Kraken, I have the pet. You know, the rest of these kind of irrelevant. I still need a TempleOSRS pet. But I don't really like Temp, so... yeah. Jad, I'll probably do more tasks of. I do have the Jad pet. But that's kind of where that is. So we look at the Temple stats. So this is going to be focused mostly on the last year. For some reason, I can offset it by like a week. But anyway, so it's not perfect for like January 1st, 2023 till now, but it's really close. So just over 1,000 EHP. I am very satisfied with that number. I expect that to go down. I think, so from a lot of 2023, like, I think around 6 months, I went from like 15 mil thieving to 200 mil. And I did that with foot pedal method and with mobile, which both are pretty kind to my arthritis. And also pretty high EHP for what amounts to be a very AFK method. Like, a lot of times I set up my laptop to do thieving and I could like play another game, or what have you. So unless my health starts to improve significantly, I don't see myself hitting 1,000 EHP this year. But that's how it goes, I think. Anyway, there's a fair bit of cooking, fishing. Fishing's been kind of my go-to AFK since I got the beaver pet. So I got the beaver pet, I want to say 56 mil wood cutting. So I haven't done much redwood since, as you see, I just hit 60 mil. So yeah, that's kind of like the go-to AFK, kind of working towards banking 200 mil cooking. I have, let me bring that up a second. So I have XP to go to 114 mil, and I'm currently nearly 74 mil. So I have 200k raw bonds to cook. So yeah, more fishing. I do like to do some AFK barb fishing and banking it too for some of that herb XP as well. And it's just a higher like EHP per AFK kind of thing to do barbfish. But I would like to try and get 200 mil cooking out of the way. And then you see 200 EHP worth of crafting. Oh, excuse me. I did a fair bit of that last year. So still working on the 200 mil grind. I have basically this, I have the seaweed for like 150 mil. I am working on mining the sand very slowly. Hopefully I'll also get the rock golem, which is my only skilling pet I'm missing, but we'll see. And then, you know, the vast majority of my EHP was thieving, as well as just the overall XP of 305 mil, you know, 144 mil of it was thieving. So yeah, that's pretty much how the year went. And we can look at my bank. Sorry, I was just, you know, you have to keep the AFK XP up even when you try and make a YouTube video and stream it. Okay, so I haven't done a lot of organizing here. It's just kind of, I've shared my bank video or bank pictures with some other people before, and they don't like how the organization can be, but the organization is mostly focused on speed of clicking and gearing for stuff. You'll see that especially in my skilling tab. That'll be where it's most obvious. This is just kind of like miscellaneous, currency, not important tab, just kind of like the first one. This is the melee tab and already produced herb XP tab. Funny way to say my potions. But yeah, I have an Elder Maul, as we discussed earlier. I do have, well, I have Syrup, I have Face Guard, I have Torture. I didn't bank many blood shards on a 200 mil grind. This is a full, like, I want to say it's near 30k. Oh, it's not telling me. I want to say that's near 30k, so I got like 50k blood charges. It's probably fine. Who knows? My biggest ad this year in the melee tab I really like is the Dragon Claws. I have some nostalgia for these from our 2 days. I never thought I would do enough chambers to get some myself, so I'm very happy with that result. That's nice. I had Dragon Hunter Lance. I've very spooned that 103 KC Claw, Hydra, and a 1 KC Spear. Doing from the Elite Diaries, I'll take it. Dragon Warhammer. Yeah, and then just like, you know, a collection of potions that PVMers might appreciate. I don't really use. I do have 3 Dens drops, although I did drop one for bonds for comps and stuff. The range tab, I do have the Assembler, and I've got the only thing I did in leagues was to get 6k points on here for the blowpipe. I have the KBD Dragon Hunter crossbow. If I get a dupe one, I might do enough for elite CAs and get another Vorkath head. And then I have 2 Dragon Hunter crossbows of different colors. I think that'd be fun. But yeah, nothing crazy here. It's just kind of like your standard basic iron range tab. Oh, and one last thing. Besides the Dragon Claws, I would really like a Dragon Fire Shield someday. I've done a lot of extended Dragon tasks that drop a Visage. Don't have one yet. And then the Magic tab, like I mentioned, kind of sad with nothing from Chambers. This is kind of like part of my go-to outfit. So that's why you'll see this here. So that's just kind of like part of my outfit. The full thing looks kind of like this. Oh, and the pride necklace. But anyway, nothing crazy again in this tab. It's just kind of there. I do have MA2 cape, so that's done. These will be useful for ZMI. And then this is my herb lore / farming tab. I actually didn't pull out my herb seeds from the vault, but I don't think they're that much. I pulled them out fairly recently. So I don't think I have, you know, there's not a ton of raw potions ready made. I usually do herb runs fairly consistently for like a month or two, and then take like a, 3 to 6 month break. And that's usually plenty enough. I usually keep up on contracts as much as I can. And so that's usually enough for me. I don't have to do herb runs like all the time. Yeah, so that's just kind of how the herb tab looks right now. And then this is the biggest and most disorganized tab. So this is my general skilling tab. I have stuff set up like my birdhouse runs. I can go like this and gear for birdhouse runs. So that's why things can often be out of order. I think you'll see, depending on what I'm doing, I'll just move things over here. I accidentally have leaves in here because of just doing forestry and click on the kits. But yeah, I'll just move stuff here. Like if I'm cutting gems, I might move them here. As you can see, I've done a fair bit. And yeah, so this tab doesn't necessarily stay organized, but everything's in it. And I just move to minimize mouse movement, loss of ticks, that kind of thing as I'm actually doing skilling. So yeah, it's got a lot of different variety. I have a fair bit of banked Giants Foundry XP, especially once I make these into myth bars. So that's pretty big. Maple logs, I'm not going to use those. I do have 22.8k mahoganies, 25k teaks. So a decent amount of construction XP. I do myth cape racks and mahogany homes with the mahogany planks. So that's my methods for con. A little bit of craft pose. I am excited for the empty light orb stack to get over 1 million. That's definitely gonna happen this year, I think. So that will be fun. That'll be a very nice one. Oh yeah, so this 201k raw, I have 266k cooked. So that'll be another fun stack to get probably close to 500k, if not above this year. And then you can see I have 110k giant seaweed. So I have quite a bit there, and nearly 200k sand. So I still need to get like 450k sand or something to equivalent that. It's just gonna be a fair bit of time. Sand mining is like fine by me, but it's one of those things where on most days for my health, I can only do like an hour or two of it at a time. So yeah, it's a long grind when my health is not very good. This tab's kind of pointless. It's just general outfit tab. You can see I'm 3 out of 4 pieces on Evil Chicken. And then I've got skilling outfits, not very important tab. Alkables tab, this kind of just shows because I only have 16 mil in actual raw GP right now. I have a lot. So these Onyx bolts are from the 200 mil thieving grind. I did mostly Tazar hers. So that's 48 mil to Alk. Among, magic longbows, U longbows, all these, I have a fair bit of gems as well from the thieving grind. I'm going to make into unstrung amulets and then Alk those as well. So yeah, it's a lot. Oh, and I have these that are not enchanted. So I actually have more than 48 mil in Onyx. This is just kind of clue tab. I don't have enough to recolor my Phoenix to anything yet, unfortunately. Some more alkables, just some, general stuff required for clues that I might not have the stash, or I maybe do have the stash and I've just not cleaned it up. So nothing to see there. And then this is a quest tab, which not very important. I do have 2 big harpoon fish. These are dupe jars. So I'm keeping them just because like bank space is not a concern for me. Very easy to clean up if not. But yeah, that's kind of how the banking looks right now. And from there, I told Twitch chat they can ask questions. And I guess I'll move to a short questions. And I see Legume says hates clues, has a clue tab. And yes, I have to segregate all that disastrous stuff there. Actually, the origin of the clue tab would have been, because you know how overwhelming it is when you start iron and you have to like wiki every single item. It's like, is this used for a clue or not? And basically I moved everything used for a clue there. So then I wouldn't forget accidentally alk it, maybe have to get another one, etc. But yeah. So Red Roulette, big fan. Very, very amazing hardcore. Recently, not a skiller and joining us in the max grind. Heard you're doing some chambers with some friends. She promised me a carry. Yes, I do owe you probably quite a few carries. I was sick for a lot of December. So yeah, I mean, I think now is probably a good time for it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to do. I am more motivated in chambers to do like team chambers and to try and like teach people and help them get purples than I am to like grind them solo myself, even though that's more efficient. I just don't get a lot of joy of doing like especially solo chambers and then just like I'm only doing this for purples effectively. So yeah, that does help me keep me motivated. I just haven't done many chambers lately just because I want to skill more. That's a couple of ons. Hi, Hero. Hero is also in Aileen stream. Taking notes on vague organization when I get to it on my snowflake this year. There you go. Hates lose. 2023, the year of learning chambers. 2024, the year of learning Inferno. Pause champ. That's from Rectato, Sinister Key, Post Rock. Yeah, I think so. Inferno was one of those stretch goals last year. Inferno is definitely PVM that interests me in this game. I think I like learning PVM and I like challenges. And I like that basically you do Inferno, you get the cape, you can keep doing Slayer tasks for Slayer XP and pet chances, but there's no real RNG drops to grind for. And yeah, I think Inferno is definitely a strong possibility for a grind this year. I think it does come down to how much my health is okay. It's just like it's hard for me to sit in a computer chair for an hour or two most days. My health kind of ebbs and flows a lot. So my average day, it would be hard to kind of gear up and do an Inferno run, I think. But on my better days, that's certainly a thing. So it's certainly one of those things. I am very motivated by skilling more, but the Inferno challenge appeal does appeal to me. 94 crafting when I was talking about class. Not solo and red roulette's joining, no. And I don't do many chamber solos to begin with. I got to the point where solo chambers, I'm certainly not an expert, but I could consistently get deathless kills even with some screw ups. So like when I reach that point in PVM where it's like I've learned this content and there's still certainly a lot of room for improvement, but it's more like perfectionist improvement, I'm not usually very personally motivated by that. And what Legume said, most iron contents is solo, makes sense to the group stuff you can as a group. Yeah, and I think that's a big part for chambers for me too.